What's up guys, Peter here from Reviews on Anything. As you might have seen in an earlier video, we had a look at this. This is the Hyder CD3 monocular. It's very small, very portable and very light, and it offers a great way to sort of quickly check your surroundings and see what's happening in the nearby distance. It's great and very portable, but obviously since it is so small, it has very limited magnification power. Now in this video, we're having a look at this. This is the National Geographic spotting scope. It's provided to us by Technologies, and it has a whopping 60mm objective and a 20, 40 or 60 times magnification level. So it is quite a few steps up from the little monocular, and it's sort of your, I suppose, entry-level scope for looking around great open areas, maybe wildlife watching, but also a little bit of amateur star watching. And it seems to be a pretty good packaged scope. We're going to take a closer look and see if it is any good. So here we are with the Bresser made National Geographic designed spotting scope, which is provided to us by Technologies. This is what you get when you open the package. It all comes in this box, which makes no mistake on what's inside, of course. You get the scope itself, which we'll get to in a minute, and you get this carry case that it all comes in. Let's put these two things to the side and look at the carry case to begin with. It's sort of your standard case if you ever owned a tripod, for example. It usually comes with something like this, with a nice sort of strap so you can carry it around your shoulder, and it's nice and sturdy, so it should keep your scope safe. You get a little manual, of course, on how to use the scope and on all the features, and as an extra bonus you also get this little tripod. Now this tripod is, it's called a table tripod, and as you can see it is quite small. But since the scope is so powerful, you're going to need a tripod to stabilize it, because obviously with 20, 40 or 60 times magnification, it's not going to work when you hold it in your hand. So you at least have to rest it on something, but even that is questionable, so you're really going to need a tripod, something like this. Now this is not a fancy tripod. As you can see, it all works quite sort of stiff and slow. The head itself, you know, it's twistable and turnable, but yeah, you really want to get your own tripod to use this scope with. It's nice that it's included, but in all honesty, this is not really what you're going to use it with. You're probably going to get your own tripod that has a bit more functionality and a lot more stability than this. But it's, again, nice that it's included. So let's put that to the side too, and let's focus on the actual scope, because this is obviously the star of the show. Now it does weigh almost 1.5 kilograms, 1430 grams to be exact, so it is quite a significant unit, but there's, because there's such a lot of magnification on the inside and a lot of glass and lenses inside, you know, it's going to be heavy, but that really adds to the quality. There's a National Geographic logo here on this ring that you can actually unscrew, and then you can twist this ring around. So you can imagine when you put it on a tripod, with the tripod mount here on the bottom, you can twist it in any orientation you want, with the eyepiece facing whichever way you want, whichever way is convenient for you. So that's nice. Then on the back here is obviously the part you look through. It comes with a cover that is not attached, which is actually a downside, because the front cover here is attached, so that's always, you know, with your scope. So I don't really understand why they did not add a little rubber strap here so it is always around. But that's beside the point. You can twist and turn this. I hope you can see it on camera, but there's a 20, a 40 and a 60 here on the end, so you can change the magnification whichever way you prefer. So if you're looking at something really far away, obviously you want the 60 magnification, and if it's a bit closer by, you can go for 40 or 20. Now this, the part you see through is actually, they say it's smartphone compatible. I suppose it is. You can put the lens of your smartphone camera in this, or on this rather, and actually take pictures through this. And I've tried it out a few times, and it's a bit of a fiddle to get it right. Because obviously, you know, your smartphone is in your hand, so it's moving, but because of the rubber rest here, you can sort of keep it still and actually take pretty decent pictures with a bit of practice. So that's you know, a nice thing to do if you're, for example, bird watching or nature watching or anything. You can actually take pictures with your phone, which is pretty cool. There's also an attachment you can get separately that you can actually put a photo camera right on top of this lens here as well, and take pictures that way with your photo camera, which is obviously even better than your smartphone camera. So that's good. Over here you have the focus. Obviously everybody's eyesight is slightly different, so with this you can make sure that the image is in focus, compatible rather with your eyes. Then moving to the front, obviously all the glass work is housed in here. The whole thing, by the way, is coated in sort of a rubberized armored coating, they call it, which is not only easier to keep it clean, but it also is sort of the first line of protection for the whole scope, because you can imagine when you're using this outside, it might get dirty or damaged slightly with scratches or whatever from branches or trees or who knows what. But the coating actually is also designed to keep it sort of safe as the first line of defense. Then here on the front, which is the business end, of course, we have a solar cover. So if the sun is shining directly into your objective here, you can actually slide this out to sort of block the sun out a bit and get a better vision. And then here on the front, obviously, is the 60 whopping millimeters objective, which provides you with all the light you need to actually get a clear view. So who is this for? That's a good question. Obviously, you know, portable small binoculars are for everybody, from children to adults. It doesn't really matter what you do with it because they're small, portable and affordable. This is quite a bit more expensive, and like I said in the introduction, I think this is sort of your first scope. So you can imagine if you're really into wildlife watching, bird watching, even amateur star watching, this might be the first scope you buy in sort of to get your feet wet and get to know scoping, I suppose, get to know how it works, get to know what you can do with what kind of magnification, and sort of build your hobby from there on. I think it's a great tool for people with slightly older kids, for example, to get into star watching. If you live in an area where there's you know, not too much surrounding light, this is awesome to you know, sort of start with watching stars, watching galaxies. With 60 times magnification, you know, it's not, you know, the last word in magnification. There's definitely more powerful scopes out there, but as the magnification goes up, you can imagine that the price goes up quite significantly as well. And this one is still really affordable, so it's a great birthday present, maybe even a Christmas present, for a kid that enjoys watching stars, for example, is into astronomy a little bit. But also, yeah, like I said, for people that are really into wildlife watching, maybe people that spend a lot of time outdoors, you know, if you live in an area with wide open areas, you can imagine deserts, big plains, tundras and so on. This is a really good scope for you to carry around and watch wildlife with. Like I said, the tripod that it comes with is not all that fantastic. So yeah, you want to get your own tripod, but when you do get something maybe slightly larger than this, but still a bit sturdier, you still have a very compact form factor, because it is only 37 centimeters long, so it is not that big, and you can easily put this in a backpack when you go out hiking or when you go out animal watching. Any downsides? Not really. Like I said, the tripod, yeah, is not that not something I would have included personally, because you know, there's a lot better solutions out there. So personally, I would feel that, you know, take the tripod out and knock 10 euros off the price, for example. But there's no real downsides to this. Yeah, because the magnification is so large, this does not work in any kind of urban environment or whatever, because there'll be too many things blocking your view from the get-go. And it works really obviously best in wide open areas with a lot of light. Because of the 60mm objective, you don't need as much light as you would with traditional binoculars, because there's just so much more room for light to come into the lens. And that's why it also works so well for example, amateur star watching. So yeah, there's no real downsides. With the tripod mount, you can mount it to any kind of tripod and you'll be good to go. I really like it. I think it's a really cool way of getting into scoping, getting into knowing how a scope works, understanding what you can and cannot do with it. And if you are an enthusiastic animal watcher or star watcher, I think this is a really good way to get into it and sort of get your feet wet, see what you like about scoping, what you don't like, what you need for an upgrade, for example. Because for the price it is still very affordable and it comes loaded with features, and it is actually a really good scope to have. So yeah, it's a good scope, certainly for the price. You can get it directly from Metam Technology. I'll put the link in the description. Thanks to them also for providing this review unit, because obviously without them we wouldn't have been able to test this. I really like it, and it's definitely recommendable for anybody who wants to get into seeing things from far away. This was Peter from Reviews on Anything, with a quick look at the Bresser-made, National Geographic designed spotting scope with 60 times magnification as maximum. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!